Hello, YouTubers. This is Fred from RV Maintenance and Mechanical Things. Hopefully, I won't make you too dizzy while I try to do this. But we recently went up to see, or down rather, to see the Carlsbad Caverns. And I did some research on the internet before we took off. We had a reservation with Reserve America at the Brantley Lake State Park in New Mexico. It's 4 miles in off of 285. Got a little lost getting there, so I mentioned that because you're going to be going down a blacktop road without any lane markings for about 4 miles when you turn into the place. And they say that for some reason they've been booking out for the last 3 years. Maybe there's more full-timers now. I really don't know. We did meet a couple, well, two on the way out. They have a dump station that's outside of the campground. They have power, 30 amp power, and water. And we were in the reserved area. They say they even fill up in their standby area. The dump station has 2 lanes, so I assumed 2 dumps. It was an incorrect assumption. They have 1 dump. So you can dump coming in or you can dump going out, and I dumped going out in the wrong lane, but my black hose was able to reach. So first time out with a toad. But what I want to talk about is we went into the Carlsbad Caverns, did a little research before I left, thought we knew what we were doing, took the elevator down. Here, I'll give you a view of it. Hang on a second if I can turn this around. Never can seem to do this, so I'll stop and restart like I always do. So this is a brochure, and it shows you the big room here. This is the elevator shaft. And what happened is we got there at about 2:30. We knew that they were closing the entrance at 3, so we figured we had time. But they said we had to take the elevator because the outside entrance was closed. So we take this elevator down here, right? 750 feet. And then you see all these lines. You got the red line that goes through what they call the big room. It's 1.2 mile, fairly level walking. And then you have this other line that goes up through the caverns, and then you come all the way up here to these twisties. And this is generally the way you come in from the outside. So this is downgrade. Okay? Well, we were wondering, and then the green line, look, I think is if you go on a Ranger tour, they'll take you through, top secret areas, whatever. So we just, got out of the thing. We saw the sign for the big room, didn't think nothing of it, got out of the elevator, and so we start walking and walking and walking. And it got steeper and steeper, and there wasn't anybody behind us. I mean, occasionally some folks came along. And so anyhow, what you're doing is you're walking 750 feet up. Okay, I just got out of cardiac rehab the previous week, which I tested out early. I was only in 12 weeks instead of 36 weeks, and I'll tell you what, this here was one hell of a test. Do you know what 750 feet equals? 750 feet equals 69 stories. That's what it converts to. So I don't know if you've ever walked up a tall building, but I used to work in a building where I'd take the steps instead of the elevator, and it was 6 flights. Well, actually, there's probably more flights than that, but it was 6 stories. And I did this for probably a year, and I'll tell you what, I was still huffing and puffing when I got to the top every time. So I'm warning you that, me and my wife, we like a workout, but we weren't prepared for it. And you might not want to go that way. If you want a good workout, go that way because it's uphill all the way. And so at 2:30, at least in the winter hours, they close this entrance where it's all downhill, and then you catch the elevator to go back up. So it was all news to us. We didn't know till we worked up a good sweat. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and I'll have a couple more comments. So we had considered taking a friend of ours to see the Carlsbad Caverns, and then what we did, staying at the Brantley campgrounds, it was about an hour down to Carlsbad Caverns, and then about an hour and 15 minutes up to Roswell, where you could go visit the aliens and the UFO Museum and Research Center. So that's what we did. We had a long weekend. We went down there, and I would like to go back, but my wife doesn't like heights, and you know, you're kind of walking through canyon in there. I mean, it's an amazing place. But I want to go back and see the big room that we didn't get to see because we didn't know what we were doing. For those of you that like to hike, they have 50 miles of hiking trails out there, and you can actually camp overnight in that area. You just have to let them know. It's a free permit. So we hope to go again, but the reason I'm putting this out there is that we didn't expect this, and if we would have took Rose, who has congestive heart failure, we really would have been in trouble. I guess we would have been turning around pretty quick. But my wife and I made it up to 69 stories out Carlsbad Caverns, but it wasn't what we had planned on, and I had tried looking into this before we went and really didn't find anything. That's how come I'm putting it out there. So this is Fred from RV Maintenance and Mechanical Things, and some more tips till we meet again. I hope you can use the info.